I think the computers were about 50. And when they wrote on the pages of the voucher, they wrote that purchase of computers. They didn't put the quantity there. And when the auditors that came from SIAO came, they said we bought one computer for that huge amount. So ordinarily, because we have not properly written the voucher, we didn't say that it was actually for procurement of 50, blah, blah, blah. And even on the pages on the book itself, it should be properly written. It shouldn't just be one line. We should write it. If you need more biro, we'll give you biro. Abi? Please always ensure it's properly written. You don't need anybody to call you. Let them do their work and go away. We also have issues around fixed asset register not aligning with the Oracle format. We've given you format as to our expectation on the fixed asset register. Please let us ensure we comply. I'm sure we've run trainings on it here, and we're still planning to have more training on it. Ensure it's properly done. Don't leave it for your people. At the end of the day, you are the one that will blame. Check it. If you check it, you are learning from them. Is that clear? My dear colleague, endeavor to always check it. Thank you. There's also issues around over expenditure. Sorry, I didn't allow my people to speak here. Not yet time. Over expenditure on personnel costs. I'm sure this is a general issue. About 90% of the agencies are affected. We've then looked at it this year. We want to make sure that it is properly uploaded when it comes to January next year. What happened is that an aspect of the personnel cost will be uploaded, an aspect will be withheld in Ministry of Establishment. You see, that is the problem I have with the fact that an admin officer is the one in charge of personnel costs. You see, you can't know it all. We are not fighting over whether you are in charge of personnel. You are in charge. I'm not interested in that. But when it comes to accounting, let us help you do it. But come next year, we've agreed on whatever figure, we have looked at the figure. And we'll ask every other agency. I will personally look at it. If it is not like that, then I'll raise issues. Is that clear? So that we will minimize this over expenditure issue. Those are the matters arising from the minutes. Today we will be discussing two circulars have been issued this afternoon. I don't know if you have all seen it. The first circular is in respect of annual year-end physical counts and year 2024 fiscal year on how to close our books. So I'll hand over mic to Thomas, who will take the first one. Where's your phone? Let me find you. So Thomas will take us through the expectation on the year-end physical inventory. Thank you, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you very much, sir. As we are all aware, the year 2024 is gradually coming to an end, and there will be a lot of activities that we need to undertake, especially as finance and accounts officers. And one of such activity is the inventory count. Most of us are aware that we had a training session or a workshop some weeks back concerning inventory. And like we emphasized at that workshop, we want to have an inventory count that is seamless, And we also want a record that anybody will not have cause to say, there is an error here, there is an error there. We don't want that. So to this end, we must all prepare our store before the inventory officers come to our various agencies. Everything that we need to do in our store, let's get it done. Let the store be tidy. Let our inventory item be arranged properly for ease of access for the inventory count team that will be coming. And in the process of counting, it's not only the finance and account officer that will be there. We want the internal auditor to also participate. We want the internal auditor to sign off on whatever is counted. And like the circular said, all obsolete stock items, they must be separated. We are not counting obsolete stock item or damaged stock item because they don't have value. We are only interested in items that are of value. Those are the things that we want to put on our financial statements. Then after the stock count, we must have at least 3 copies of the record of the inventory count that has been done, all stamped and signed by the resident internal auditor, by the director of finance and accounts, and the team lead for the inventory counts. You retain a copy. The internal auditor should also retain a copy, and a copy will be submitted to STO, FIR directorates. And one of the things we also want you to take note of, we don't want a situation whereby there are errors. So we also have responsibility to check the calculation that has been done on that inventory count sheet. Because you are going to append your signature to it. So we don't want a situation whereby there are errors even after you have appended your signature. Your signature is authenticating the accuracy of that document. So, and if you sign any document that has errors, you know the kind of impact is going to have on our integrity, even as finance and account officers. So we are seeking your cooperation to make this exercise a very, very successful exercise. We don't want a repeat of what we had in time past, whereby by the time we are giving the auditors those records, the auditors are the ones now discovering all these errors. Even after you have submitted, we are also still going to do some due diligence on it, and we won't expect that because your signature carries weights. We don't expect that there will be errors on those count sheets. So we expect you to please cooperate fully with the inventory count team that will be coming to your agencies. Thank you very much. Okay, the submission dates. The inventory officer will be coming on the 2nd of January. Let's take note of that. On the 2nd of January. That's the first working day of the year. First working day of the year. There are options. We can still decide. 31st may not be visible. We are looking at, it's not visible. Is 31st visible for us? But remember, you are going to be having 2 sets of people coming on the 2nd of January. The board of survey will also be coming. So we can accommodate the 2 teams on that day. Are we okay with that? Sir, question.
day of the year is set aside for prayers. So, yes. Only in the morning. Eh? In the morning. In the morning. What time? So why not third? Why not third? Why not third? 7 to 8.
The prayer is always very early in the morning. Most likely 1 hour, 1.5 hours, the prayer will be over. So it's not going to disturb our activities on that day. And everything must be submitted to the office of the Accountant General latest by the 8th of January. Latest by the 8th of January. And let's also take note that during the inventory count exercise, you cannot issue out any item from store, neither can you receive any item into store. So let's also take note of that. It's also in the circular. Then also, donated items. I think we need to talk about this because we have some of those inventory that are donated to us. Please, the fair value of those donated items must be captured. Don't tell them that you don't know the value of any item because we are looking at the costs, the quantity, and by the time we multiply that together, we get the total inventory. So even if items are donated to you, you must get the fair value. So don't say that we don't know the value of this one, it was donated to us. No. Everything must be recorded.
Thank you so much. Do you have questions for him? So we take the next circular, and that will be done by Mr. Mahmood.
Good afternoon, colleagues. I'm sure we'll send the closing account circular for year 2024 fiscal year. And my own is just to run through it. I'm sure we have read it and we have digested it. So the first thing is on revenue accounting. So the major thing here is that we should ensure that as at 31st of December 2024, all outstanding revenue has been paid to the bank. All receipts collected in that respect. And if you have any unpaid invoices, unpaid revenue, like outstanding bills, which is called receivable, especially on your central billing system, you must ensure that those bills are the bills that are actual receivable, not a prospective bill. What I mean by a prospective bill is that there are bills that if you issue to a customer, they may not come back. So they are voluntary service of a sort, but there are bills that are compulsory. For instance, bills like land use charge, they are compulsory bills, which whether the payer likes or not, they have to pay. So such bill should be retained on the system. But bills that people just walk in and want government service and they may not come back, such bills should not be retained. So you can seek the assistance of the Financial Information System Department, or better still, the Science and Tech CBS team to assist you in this regard. So, and when you are presenting your receivables, you must make sure that whatever you have on CBS is the same thing as what we have on LRP. And also, it must also be reconciled with what we have on Oracle. You know, especially the most important one is even the Oracle, because at the end of the day, it's Oracle that we use to prepare our financial system. And when we are carrying whatever amount that we are carrying as receivable, let it be a true receivable, so that we will not be carrying forward imaginary receivable from year to year. So that is that. Then on overhead costs, capital and special expenditure vouchers. So for all vouchers, we are in December, and in most cases from MDAs, in December, they normally bring in the money that they have not spent since January. They want to spend everything in December. They want to make sure that that vote is actually utilized. No problem. But we must ensure that all relevant documentation must be submitted, all voucher, whether going to CIA, you have done procurement, has gone to CIA, it must reach STO not later than Wednesday, 18th December 2024. Wednesday, 18th December 2024. So note that it's only payment voucher submitted by this date that will be attended to at the state treasury. So any voucher after this date, anyway, if it is a special voucher or Ongbono voucher, my Oga will determine that. that will be at the discretion of my Oga. But the general something is that by Wednesday 18th, make sure that all your vouchers are in. So if you have any unpaid voucher after that day, so consider it a payment for next year. In that case, you are going to get the revalidation of Mr. Governor. So for payment, and not only that, you'll be sure that because those vouchers that has not entered, whether you have created it on the system, will be removed from the system. Am I correct, Mr. Thomas? Especially vouchers that are relating to permanent secretary. Because if you are creating voucher in the name of the permanent secretary, it means that who is permanent secretary working for?
Governor.
Is it not the governor? So the financial statement that we are preparing, so who is the custodian of that financial statement? Is the governor. So the governor is owing himself. So is it possible? So that's why any outstanding voucher that has to do with permanent secretary has to be removed from the system. Any voucher that relates to contractor that has entered the Oracle as at 18th of December, if we have not paid it, yes, it's part of our payable. We'll carry forward and we'll pay. We'll still use 2024 because it has even go into our provision for 2024. But if it has not entered that day, even if you have entered it on Oracle, but it doesn't come to STO that day, you are going to remove and you are going to use 2025 foot of charge for it. Am I communicating? Okay. Also, we must make sure that what we are carrying as unpaid voucher that's still outstanding in State Treasury Office is reconciled with the Directorate of Financial Information System. The essence is this. Before the auditors comes to STO to come and do the statutory audit, they will have gone around your agencies. But it's mostly embarrassing that what they found in your agencies are not what they find when they come to headquarters. Especially in the area of reconciliation. Maybe when I go to that place, I will talk about it. It's very embarrassing. Sometimes they will have to, the FIS team will have to be calling some head of account. Bring your account, and you will not come. Maybe I will even indulge, I will beg the accountant general that any head of account found one thing in this regard should be posted to FIS so that they can come and help us in our annual financial information so that they will know how it looks. Isn't it a bad idea? Is that a good idea? It is, Abi.
We've all resolved that if that situation occur, we will move that officer to FIS. Don't see it as punitive, but it's an opportunity for you to learn. We have all agreed, and I'm not going to bend the agreement. We all resolved at that. Thank you, Mr. Ma.
Okay. So it is also mandatory that if you have unvalidated and unaccounted invoices on the Oracle payable module, please ensure that you cancel them. If you need assistance from the Financial Information System Department, we have the officers there that will attend to you. So all this is a bit to have a clean system and to have a clean financial report at the end of the day. So then your report, the one you normally submit on a monthly basis, I hope you still remember them. We have 10291, 10312, 2023, 10292, 10312, 10299, 2222. Then your cash book ledgers, you have to run. So many of us still take our manual cash book as the ultimate. But it is quite unfortunate that after more than 20 years that we have digitized our financial system, we are still hammering on using manual cash book. Today is what? We are in year 2024, isn't it? Oracle was launched in Lagos State in 2001. And that means the journey has gone far, 23 years. Some of us that are born 23 years ago, we know that those children are now graduates. Abi, some of them has even married. And now let's now apply it to our work. As at 2024, some of us don't even know what they are talking about on Oracle. We still leave our work for our subordinates. Whether they did it very well or not, it doesn't concern. What we are just after is go and collect clearance. It shouldn't be like this. So let us sacrifice. You can take one day in a week. That is the way I learned Oracle when I was in MDA. I normally come to Oracle to come and learn. When I learn, I'll go back and teach my subordinate. So please let us, so that when they are, whatever they are doing for us, we will know whether it is right or not. So in 2023.
Sorry, I think what we should then do is, let's try and group ourselves. Maybe from January, maybe about group ourselves into 10-10s. We'll be coming to STO, FIS, to learn this Oracle. So that be in a case of, oh, I don't have FIS officer. It is so sad. Why should you? There is a ministry where they told me that they have 10 people, and yet they told me that they don't have enough people. And the next thing the person will tell me is, I don't have FIS officer. I take the responsibility that I have not trained you enough. I'm going to group you into 10-10 from January. Maybe Ogunjimi will help me out. From January, we'll begin to train you. And if we have trained somebody, if that person doesn't know it, it's that person's headache. In fact, what I would then do is, when I train you and I know you are not responsible enough, I just take off that your FIS officer and post that FIS officer to somewhere else. I'm sure if I do that, you would know that it is, you need to know it. That's what we should do. I have agreed with you that we should train ourselves. Kusin got to limbe. Ẹ jẹ́ kó tiẹ̀ kọ́ gé oúnjẹ, tó máa gé oúnjẹ ni. Ẹ jẹ́ kó tiẹ̀ kọ́ gé oúnjẹ. Tó bá gé oúnjẹ, ẹ wá bá mi ń gbà yẹn. If you don't understand it, come and meet us. We will teach you. Is it hard? Àwọn tó mọ̀ bí báyìí wọ́n ń ṣàjẹ́. Àbájẹ́ ni wọ́n ni. Àbí ẹ̀ ń lògùn ni, Mr. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, on the submission of report, so also our fixed asset schedule, it should be part of what we are submitting, and we must ensure that the fixed asset report has photo of charge, Oracle code, full description, location, and actual amount. If you don't have the schedule template, can see them in FIS, they will give us. So let us use it the way, let's prepare it the way it will be useful for those people that will use it at the financial information system. Please. Then bank accounts, we must ensure that all our bank accounts are listed on Oracle. There should I am a compliance officer. We've seen a lot of accounts that are outside the system. We are not doing the system any good. As an accountant, accuracy, completeness, and integrity must be our watchword. But in a case whereby we deliberately leave, even if your accounting officer or whoever asks you to not to disclose any account, we must find a way around it and said, no, because accountant general is not after anybody's money now. But what we want is feasibility of everything that we have. Even revenue, we have instances where agencies generate revenue and they are not reported in any of our platform at all.
You know, we have mentioned it here several times that where we have support from donor agencies, maybe from United Nations, World Bank, they are meant for specific purpose. Those money cannot be merged into CRF. They are like more like those exemptions to the CRF. We are more like dedicated accounts. So spend that money. Give me a report. Let me put it in the report as part of what has come in and that it has gone out. My colleagues have found it very hard to give us such report. Unfortunately, you won't spend 1 naira out of this money. I'll give you an example. Last week, for instance, the doctors will be giving money directly to support their research. Usually those money go through the account of the hospital. Let us record of it. Don't give me the money. Pay it to that person. Let us have the record and we do the necessary postings. Our colleagues will not show us. Maybe from the new year, we'll be out there to be looking for such. If we see any one of such, I won't hesitate to remove that out of account. It is not fair. I've been begging since I got here. And until we make somebody a scapegoat, maybe that's when we will change. What's adding it? Your money. The one you next year, have you finished spending it? Abi, how much is your money? Bisola. Hello, lówó wọn náà. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń tọ́jú ẹ̀. Ẹ fẹ́ kí n rí. Ìyẹn kọ́ ló máa ní ká má fún yín lówó náà. We can only better your lot. We can advise you on how to do proper accounting. You won't allow one small boy to come and tell you that, oh, I don't. Can you imagine? Olodo ni wọ́n. Do you need that? No. Please try and show us. We will support you. We want the best for you. We want proper record. Etigbo, Ejo, please help me out.
Thank you, sir. So I'm still on fixed asset register. So your fixed asset register must be submitted to the State Treasury Office on or before 15th of January 2025. Then on the bank account, I mentioned the other time, if there are bank accounts that for any reason you have closed or you are not issue again, I mean, you are not, there is not in use again, ensure that it's properly closed. I know instances where agencies will instruct banks to close accounts and the bank will not do that. So if it needs to escalate it to the State Treasury Office, please do that. But for all closed accounts, we must also write to the State Treasury Office that this account has been closed so that such account can be deactivated on the Oracle. Also, if we open accounts, we must ensure that that account is also, the STO is also notified so that that account can be created on Oracle. On no occasion should any MDA open or operate any account without the knowledge of the accountant general. It's a directive for financial information, financial regulation. So let's adhere by it. So for all parastatals, we must make sure that we, in line with year 2024 appropriation law, we submit all our reports to the State Treasury Office, all our Oracle cash book, bank reconciliation statements, and bank statement are submitted to the STO before 15th of January 2025. And for vouchers that has reached STO before Wednesday, 18th of December, but subsequently query for lack of one document or the other, you can quickly redeem it and make sure we return it on of before Tuesday, 24th of December, 2024. So, in closing of cash book now. So all cash book, as I said earlier on, must be closed latest by 31st December 2024. We know that your 31st December 2024 may not be December 31st, 2024. We know how it works. We know it can be delayed up to January, Abi, but whatever posting that you are doing should not be more than, Mr. Thomas, should not be more than 15th of January 2025. So if you have
Yeah. I can assure you that it will come in. All of us need clearance for postings into the Oracle. But some people have not even collected February running cost. Okay, okay. Some have not even collected July now. I can tell you for sure, the agency will collect it. But that I am collecting the list when I leave here now. The CEO should not suffer for your inefficiency. Abi, why should DTO, please? I need the comprehensive list. Let me deal with it today so that I will remove some people. And some people who do not have seat can get somewhere to sit. Oh, quality engineer. Oh, the bucket.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, I want to know of clearance so that we can.
Oh, it would be based on clearance. If you have done.
Sir, wait. No,
Hello, if you have done. Stop your own.
October. So
Your own is October.
I'm planning to collect October and November. So I'm thinking of get.
If you have not done November, I won't pay your December.
Okay, but once we clear November.
Once you clear it, you will collect it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So, submission of financial statement. All agencies must prepare and submit in general on or before Friday, 14th of February, 2025. And the account to be prepared is financial statement. And when I mean financial statement, IPSAS, another bigger dealer is the annual board of survey. a law or regulation, the annual board of survey should take place on the last day of the new financial year. But unfortunately, that we discovered that when the board of survey team comes around, many of us are not prepared. It for more than 2-3 years. But when the board of survey still come around, that sneak from the backyard in the night, it shouldn't be so. So let us prepare for them. The board of survey should be on the spot something. Even if it shouldn't be, okay, at most 1 week. But it's quite unfortunate that as of February, we'll still be talking about board of survey. January 31st, at most, I should have submitted to the AG that this is. But in February, it's even some head of accounts will not be ready, and they are even ready to intimidate the board of survey team. Go, Joe, we are not ready. It's not fair. When you intimidate this team, you are intimidating they are representatives of the accountant general. And what they are doing is a statutory form. Let us be ready for them. Now, our cash and cash equivalent. And you don't even need, whether you've closed your books or not, your cash is your cash. The stock taking by the stock taking team.
Hello. What is what I would do? If any officer refuses to allow representatives so you're turning me down. You have time to prepare your books between now and December. If you don't allow them to eat, I can take action you won't like. And I won't want us to fight. I am begging you, please.
Thank you, sir. So please, let's prepare for them. Then inventory and donation and grant, that has been, Mr. Thomas has spoken on that. Then statutory deduction and it's on statutory deduction, on contract payment. MD must ensure that they have some. In fact, please refer to Treasury Circular 03 of 2024. So, you can see the office of the DTO. They will guide you. So, please, we are colleagues and we are working for one purpose. State and to enhance the image of our profession. Finance officer. Is that not what we are? Finance and account officer.
If you your colleagues, God forbid that you know everything. If you know everything, then you are a mad person. If I don't know something, because I'm his boss. I've called Mahmoud, I've asked him question, and he will, am I not his boss? I've called Said, I've called DTO. I'm always learning, I'm always asking questions. But you are doing as if you know everything. You don't want to have. Òkúni jẹ́ kó bú ẹ, àwa náà á bú padà. Ń gbé ṣé òun mọ gbogbo ẹ ni. Abuse the person. Ṣé òun mọ gbogbo ẹ? Please, let's do it well. I'm begging you. If you don't know, ask me. Thomas is here, ask him. At least Thomas is approachable. I want to believe I'm approachable too. So I'll come. Mr. Ariwole Ojo, come. Get them abuse me now. Should be you didn't mention if it is capital. Well, thank you so much. You've heard from them. You've done justice to that Treasury circulars issued. However, I have some to also add to it. It shows today's meeting is going to be very brief. We'll be rounding up shortly. Mr. Governor has graciously approved involve accountants. We also then included in it the Auditor General for Local Government, the Council Treasurer of Local Government, the internal audit. Why we did that is to ensure that they are the one that will mark my book. By the time that you understand that, we all take ownership together. Nobody will tell me that, why are you doing it this way? If you ask me to do it that way, we all agreed. So we formed that committee and we then some of us will know him, if not all of us. So if you have contribution, we'll be coming to you. It's not ordinarily the retreat should come up this December. We've now deferred it till February. It's PricewaterhouseCoopers that is partnering with us. So we'll get it properly done. We'll come and project it at that retreat. That is the main thing we are discussing at that retreat. Now, when the Auditor General issued his particularly the hospitals, when they anticipate revenue, the way I've said it, anticipated revenue, not that they have given them a check that is yet to clear, I don't know the kind of accounting it is. Maybe
My AG has said, we have had instances where hospitals will have uncredited lodgements, and by the time what they have on their reconciliation statements. And you start imagining, where did you get this figure? Into your bank statement, we must see that same amount. But we are seeing something different. And this was an issue the Auditor General raised in his management letter. Also, the issue of has been a recurrent issue with the hospitals because we don't do proper. Something we need to treat seriously this time around. The Auditor General we will not even tolerate it in your reconciliation statement. Thank you, sir.
Do a sort of forum, Mr. Thomas, me, and all the head of accounting hospitals, so that we'll actually go through, we'll review our processes, and we are. So,
how many of them? How many of the hospitals? How many hospitals do we have? About 30? I know I won't be around until on the 12th. So we'll do maybe the week after. Let us. We can form part of they may have a separate way they keep their records. Let's look at it. Abi? Titi, what's your position?
In accounting in any way, even in whether in the private sector or public sector. That's we follow are different, and the guidelines we have. In the hospitals, there is no serious difference in what we do. But I just want to speak on the revenue that Mr. Thomas raised. Was it Mr. You Of course, I agree with Mr. Thomas that if you're expecting any revenue and you already know the amount, that's where you can put it as your uncredited lodgement. But I've not seen where but the issue we have, the main issue we have in the hospital, the differences, and yes, there's always a lot of reversals. So that's the major issue we have, and that's what we should discuss.
Okay, at that session, service again.
You get it.
So what will you do then?
balance that was supposed to be paid back into the chest, which I did not pay. And the reason is that revenue, you have not earned it. You can only recognize the revenue you have earned. These are deposits of patients that wants to go through procedures and surgeries, but they make deposits, and when they don't make their full payment, on revenue.
I agree with you. At the session, we invite the Auditor General too, so that we'll all be on this. We'll all be on the same page. Let's reason together. What you have said is valid. You cannot post what you have not earned. I agree with you. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Please sit down.
I mentioned this at the PAC I attended 2 days ago. It was raised, and the chairman of the PAC has said we should write a position paper on it.
On it, yeah.
Which I'm going to, and I will bring it to you, sir.
Okay. Also of importance is deduction from our payment vouchers. Some of us would decide refuse to deduct some. Apply wrong rate. If you're doing consultancy for limited liability, you know it's 10%. It's really not acceptable. We also, some of us, over-deduct. If you want to treat withholding tax, for instance, you just apply the withholding. Get a revised contract sum and then apply the rates on the balance. Or you do something over 107.5. You understand? You can do it that way. But what is simple for me, for instance, is for me to deduct the VAT. I don't want to disturb my brain. First deduct the VAT. That's the simple. I like quick one. I don't like to disturb my brain. Please, let's try and do it well. For us, for those of us who are not doing it well, let us do it well. Reconciliation statement. I have looked at the compliance report. Why I got here late. I was reading it agency by agency. About 50% of the agencies do not have complete. There is a particular institution I've studied it. The institution do not have cash book. They do not prepare bank reconciliation statement from January. It's either they remove the deposit today or I'm not going to give them money going forward. That it is because of her that I have released that one. But I'm telling her that if I do not, I can assure her that I'm not going to give them that of December. You can imagine that. They do not have cash book. They do not have reconciliation statement. Maybe they thought in our vouchers. Please, let us take time to retire our vouchers. vouchers, that's when it can become an expense. We also saw of fund. Almost all of us here are guilty. Soroni. Money meant for travel and transport. You use it for let us, let's guide our chief executive. Let's tell them the right thing so that they will beyond you. I know some of them are beyond you. Again, I want to escalate it. Let's do it properly. There are some of our agencies that have independent software for our revenue generation. They are not integrated to our hard on people because our revenue is not adequately reported. And when we there are agencies who are using standalone software, CPS, Central Billing System, or Lagos Revenue Portal. If we see that and you have not integrated, it is not a threat, it's what we will do. Also very important is that here so that you do not overdrawn bank charges. You have an idea of what the bank charges could be. Why are you overdrawing the account? It shouldn't be a case that I have a negative balance in your bank statement or your cash book is overdrawn. Please, my dear colleagues, let us desist from it. We also note that, which I have mentioned before, the donations and the grants. Most of us we don't report on it. Let us report on it. If you need support on how to capture it, meet us at STO. We can be of assistance. I know you submit to me periodically capital expenditure schedule. Very important, this is the end of the year. You need to also prepare that your schedule and submit it to us at FIS not later than 15th January. We also have issues around duplicated bills on our CBS. Please try and clean it up. The year has come to an end. We need to clean it up. So on that note, that's all I have. I want my colleagues on this top table to make one comment or the other, if you have any. Oh, questions. Do you have questions? Okay, mommy. Go ahead. Okay, Funke Abi. Maybe your name is Funke.
I want to speak on the unspent balance.
Okay, ma.
The auditor, they queried us but on capital expenditure. And there is no way we can leave a zero balance in our project account because of the bulk. That's happened before, that we had a negative balance at the end of the year. So because of the bank charges. So this year, last year, on it, that money should have been returned. I said, subsisting, that money should be returned back to the chest. So I want to position on it, sir.
Okay, my maybe it's 15 for.
So let's first of all look at it from the point of law. The financial regulations stipulated that in fact, peradventure, if you have any balances in your those days, we used to do what they call mop-up. The accountant general would remove everything and turn your account to zero. But for operational convenience, allowed. But balances allowed must be balances relating to not just leaving any money in the name of say, oh, it's a project account, let me leave 30,000. 30,000 for what? It's not. No. Madam, you do account maintenance for recurrent too. Why don't you leave money for that one? So, will be money relating to ongoing project, and you should be able to explain it. This also amount, we collected 10 million for this project. We paid 5 million. The outstanding for that contractor, and you have relevant document to show for it. If you have that, I'm sure the Auditor General will not query it. So let's look at things in the right perspective.
Is that clear to you, madam? Okay. Okay, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, I just ask now that all balances in our account must be returned back to chest. But when you have balances in revenue account that you can't spend until you get approval from Mr. God. First of the following month. So how do we now address that? Revenue account.
Revenue account.
Yes, revenue account that we still have balances on them.
And that's dedicated. That's your dedicated.
Dedicated revenue, sorry about that.
Bola, my advice to you going forward is notify us at the end of the year where you have such balances. We can then sweep it.
So what AG is saying is that if it is the balances we are having is shared, Abi, and you have not shared it to the stakeholders, the parties involved, like local, it's explainable.
My explanation.
That is why you should notify the AG so that AG knows about this. We have not shared this thing. But if you have shared it,
You see, at all times, to exonerate yourself, just write the AG. You are representing the AG there. You are not representing yourself. So let them blame the AG. AG has not done it well. And I take responsibility. And I apologize. Abi? Please.
Thank you, sir. Still on revenue. You mentioned that those of us that are not on LRP and CBS, that we have our own platform, and we upload on Oracle. So do we still need to be connected to LRP or CBS? Because you upload on Oracle. I'm hearing this.
So, with Megalek, we held a meeting with him, and we've let him know the importance of him connecting his platform with the LRP. So what you come and do it manually, and even this manually, there are still some inadequacies. That is why we have this. Sometimes from 89,000, or it becomes 101,000. So, but if with LRP or even CBS for that matter, we can see all these things on real time. Revenue generated will come on real time. Reverse done will come on real time. From the system, if everything is automated, it keeps the accountants out of the headache of, oh, this one is not, this one is reverse, this one is whatever. So let me quickly talk on the reverse I talked the other day. You know what? Reverse that has to do with previous year. Then you treat it as an expenditure, because you cannot that revenue, but we just treat it as an expenditure in the current year. So reversal goes even for on continuous basis. So that's it, sir.
Okay, Alaji.
Sorry, sir. This is on the account. I want to get our home position regarding our SDRF. We are talking about the drug revolving fund. Ordinarily, we're supposed to be having balance at the end of the year.
There is an exemption to drug revolving fund.
Thank you.
It's a drug revolving fund. You don't sweep that into the account. Again, a letter at the end of the year notifying us of the balances in that account. Why is that? We also needed to include it in the balances of our account. Any other one?
Good afternoon,
We are
sir.
done.
Good afternoon, sir. Sorry that I would have loved to see your face. We have to do my AG, sir. Still your boy, sir. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, my colleagues. As I'm seated here, Daddy, sit down, sir. You are our daddy. Sit down, sir. As I'm seated here, I discovered that all we've been talking about is work, 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 and work. I told my GM, I said, I'm having brain fatigue. Seriously. You know, some of our AOs are still getting approvals. And they expect you to get money for them. You run around, you think. Some of us cannot even sleep well because you want to perform. And we are here, we are still talking about work, work, work. We have so much expectations. Expectations from families, expectations from work, expectations from our bosses. What happens to you and I? What happens to you and I? Then tomorrow now you hear that an accountant collapsed and he has gone. And work will continue. Work will continue. So for me, what I want us to take away, and I want to advise is that maybe the PSAG, sir, let's look for a way. I know we have retreats coming, but like I'm looking at a situation where we have at the end of the year like this, let's have a gathering of all the accountants. It's a period of good tidings. Some people are already in the Christmas mood. Let's put ourselves in a relaxed mood. We can come together, do service of 9 lessons. All accountants.
Let's have a meeting, please. Let's listen to him.
All accountants will be there. We will look for money for them. They will do end of year party. They will do end of year 9 lessons and so on. Even to the office of the governor. Why are we not doing it for accountants? Let's come together in a particular place. Have service of 9 lessons. We are relaxed. We are getting into the mood of the end of the year. And then everybody goes home happy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. He has made a very, very, very valid position. For me, everything requires planning. We can plan against it next year. But for this year is almost gone. Let's plan against that for next year. But let's plan for our retreat. Let's make it a grandeur. Let's have a relaxed mood. We'll ensure that all of us here participate. That is certain. I want to ensure that all of us attend so that you all contribute. What you have said, my dear friend, I cannot but agree with it. We need to relax. We need to cool off the brain. We work a lot, but my advice to you again is try to do your medicals regularly. Very important. Try to rest. Over the weekend, relax. I make it a point of duty not to go out on weekends. I relax at home. If I come to your party, I spend 5-10 minutes, I run out. I come back home and relax. We need to relax. We need to go for our medicals. But I promise you, next year, we will look at it. I'm not promising anything. It is better not to promise and do it than to promise and fail. Again, I have this fear. The person keeping money and doing party You see the way they think. Wọ́n ti kó gbówó wá, wọ́n ti lọ fi ṣe pátí. Owó kankan ò dẹ̀ sọnù. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún rò dáadáa. Àwò, committee àwò, yan committee. They look at it and then advise us. But for me, naturally, I'm not a party person. I don't like party. Maybe at the retreat, the last retreat I danced, maybe that is the best. At the next retreat, I'm going to dance again. We will drink, we will do everything. But I don't, I have that fear for party. You know, the retreat, nobody will take any offense. They know after the retreat, you will definitely do the gala night, you do all those things. Nobody will take offense in that. But specifically doing party, we will look at it. We just form a committee to look at it and advise us. Thank you so much. Any other question? 1, 2, 3. Iye mi kide. 4, 5. Who is number 1? Oh, give it to Elijah. Give it to Elijah.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, my colleagues. Sir, I have a little issue. It's regarding the when the monitoring team came to our office, they observed that our personnel cost was actually different from the personnel figure on our Oracle. So, sir, please, how do we reconcile that?
Mrs. Busari, please. You said your personnel cost is actually different from what we have on Oracle. Okay. The Oracle is higher. Please, let's have your own figure and let's just look at it together, please.
Hello, my sister. Hello. And for all of us, don't just rely on whatever has been sent to you from a staff. Once you know that your budget has been loaded on Oracle, the first thing to do is check it against the physical paper you have to ensure that it is proper and is okay. Don't wait until when you now have issue to now know that, oh, there's difference between the one they gave me in the staff. Not only a staff, but not only personnel costs, all your budget. Immediately you know that, oh, budget has been loaded, uploaded. The first thing to do is print it out and compare it with the one they gave you from the MEPB. Thank you.
Number 2.
Good afternoon, sir. So my own concern is relating to our well-being too. So I noticed that all the budgets that we have, there is nothing for accounts. We have vote of charge for accounts. We don't have any line for accounts. We have planners, we have auditors. Yes. And the planners, when they segregate the budget or whatever, they will put money for themselves. They will put money for everybody, for accounts, nothing. So at the end of the day, it's like we will be sorting for fund if we need anything from other votes.
That is noted. You've escalated it to me. We'll find way around it. I do not agree with it. Why should everyone have budget and I do not have budget? This is a...
Hello? See, the AG will work on it, but that's not enough. Budget of our agencies concerns us. We must not leave it in the hand of any budget officer or whatever. We must be an active partaker. So, and we must, we must demand for what belongs to us. We cannot say because budget officer will create a vote for himself. So why would they create for accounts? So it is because you don't even know when the budget are passed.
Okay, it's okay. I'm going to take it up and they will make the necessary correction. I'll invite the permanent secretary budget today after this meeting and ask her what is responsible. We'll find solution to it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, sir.
Let's have a meeting, please. My dear colleagues, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Please, my question is, can we actually have an actual deadline for collection of vouchers? Because our accounting officers, they come with last-minute approvals and they put a lot of pressure on us that they will take the excuse. Go take it there. I've called AG, I've called this one. And 30th, 29th, coming with fresh approvals.
I have told you that the deadline is 18th. Don't bring anything to me after 18th. If I need anything from you, I'll call you to request for it.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, my has to do with FIS. Sir, I could remember some years back, there was a particular office that was created for us at Finance. Whenever we have an issue that has to do with Oracle, we just go to that office to go and do it there. There was an officer monitoring that particular office. I don't know whether the FIS department can still have it. Like in my own office now, it's over 6 weeks. We have light servicing that server in my office. I have to come to Abba Center with my subordinate to come and carry out every month activities. So I don't know, maybe the FIS department can still have that office for us. Thank you, sir.
Well, we resuscitated the office at a time. But when we have constraints of office space, offices were created and SA Internal Audit also needed a space. Coincidentally, she used to be my colleague as a PAMSEC, and I need to give her space also. But if you need to do some things at STO, we will create space for you. Just call, don't worry. Is that clear? Thomas will work with you. If it will mean that I ask people to vacate the conference room for you to work, they'll vacate it for you. My conference room is open. It's our conference room, not just mine. It's for all of us. Any other question? No more question. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, Sir Zambas. Issue. Sir, sometimes before I get there, they said they merge all the accounts. So we have only 2 accounts, which is for subvention and capital. So all our subvention payments and other charges are being paid to subvention accounts. But recently, they said all other payments are being paid to our capital account. Can we spend from there? Example of this is the issue of payment of palliative. It's normally paid to capital account. And if we have to spend from there, auditor, the day backyard. The other one, if we are to transfer back to recurrent, that means we are going to be raising vouchers without submission. What do I do? Thank you, sir.
Okay. You are not the only one involved in this. I think I've questioned 1 or 2 people about it. And I'm told that it is the account you gave them in the check room. That was where the money was transferred to. That was what I was told. But basically, you are not even supposed to have only 2 accounts. I know your agency, your budget has not been broken down. And I think for the year 2025, it will be broken down appropriately. So you should have other charges, you should have your running cost or subvention account, and you must have a project account. So you have to prepare for that against next year. So we'll correct all these ones going forward. And for other agencies that are involved, whose budgets have not been broken down, I think it will be done in the year 2025. We'll follow up with budget on that. And let's talk and let's see how we can resolve it.
Thank you. On that note, we are bringing this meeting to a.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon,
fellow colleagues.
Please, let's have a meeting, my dear colleagues. Okay.
Sir, there was a time, one of our accounts that we use in our agency, it has to do with Zenith Bank. And there was a time Zenith Bank has issue of transactions that has to do with their network. So, and we have some payment vouchers are waiting to be perfected for payment at STO. So they call me that these payment vouchers are ready for payment, but trying to pay it to our Zenith Bank account is not going. That's what should they do? I have to go through my PS. Man, this is what we are facing. What should I tell them? So they have to move that. They have to move that money to our Wema Bank account, which is our capital. So in that situation, and that's the situation I find myself. But we later transfer that money from that Wema account to Zenith. So if they are seeing that money in that Wema account, and that is not our capital fund, I mean the auditors, how will I explain that situation?
You have explained. There are exigencies that has led to that.
Okay.
You see, the auditors too, they will understand with you. As long as money has not lost, show us sonuni. As long as money has not lost, administrative error, we take responsibility. It is due to this and that.
Okay.
And then you move on. Don't argue with anybody.
Okay, sir.
We all know that there are glitches in the bank the account of Zenith Bank and which other bank? GT Bank,
GT Bank,
UBA. Stalin also joined them. So you should not be blamed for. And what if somebody died because of your action? You said this, so this account is meant for running costs, and you needed to pay money for hospital. And you're not telling me that I cannot pay it from capital. Do it, use it, explain to them,
okay.
Put it in writing.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And as long as you get the concurrence of your PAMSEC, that's
yes,
final.
She's
it's your PAMSEC that you decide. And the PAMSEC should tell them, I gave him permission to do it.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, secondly, it has to do with hello,
please let's allow him. I'm sure we are all learning from this. I have learned a lot.
Secondly, I want to digress a little bit from and it has to do with all of us. Sir, I want to plead on behalf of myself and our colleagues that as part of this meeting early this year, sir, it has been said, maybe we all forgot, that retired accountants need to be recognized and celebrated, which we have not divert our attention to those that, sir. As my friend has said here, we are all working tirelessly in the course of this our profession. And if God has given us that opportunity to retire on the course of the work successfully, I think our father, the AG, and our parents' ministry needs to. Some of us are only giving a part away from our agency. In fact, at the gathering at our agency parting away, we don't even see any of our guys from our parent agencies to even say, oh, from the accountant general. So thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Your position is very valid. I've noted it. We have started something. It may not be as big as you think. I can tell you for sure that we are the only one who have an association of retired director of accounts and finance and accounts. We are the only one. In fact, at the time, the head of service said he wanted to merge admin with us. We are the only one that are making effort. But again, that is not enough. You have raised something valid. What we'll then do is to also have a committee to look at it and tell us how to go about it. You will form part of that committee. That young man that just spoke, Okuleye, will form part of the committee. And the committee will be shared. There's a committee in place. Ms. Lawal is the chairman. Okay, we'll listen to Mrs. Lawal. We will listen to Mrs. Lawal at the next meeting. Is that clear? Mrs. Lawal will brief us as to what we plan to be doing going forward. That is a valid thing, and I like it. I will allow my colleagues on this side of the table to do the closing remarks so that we can leave. Yes, all of you will have.
From Mrs. Side.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Good evening, colleagues. I know the day is fast spent, and then we've spent quite quality time here with PSAG discussing on things that affect us essentially, perhaps especially as the year is approaching an end. Mine is one of a comment, and then it's coming on a plea note to corroborate what the PSAG, as earlier said, on the grants and donation we enjoy from our development partners. I know for sure that we have a reasonable number of us here that get donations, grants specifically from development partners. Our specific UNICEF. So we have a handful of us that get UNICEF support from and share. Don't see share a gap that we need to fill. It's not it's not credible for us to see reports on those grants and then we don't have the actual. The actuals are coming from the respective MDAs here that we're all on it being shared with when we discuss with MEPP, those development partners be mentioned, be clearly spelled out and how that is so. So we're hoping that as we close and prepare for the new year, I'm going to say that.
Good afternoon. And I believe I've sent out the circle promotion. And we are still expecting a number of people to come to register and inform the officer. commission, and anything after, to please inform your officers and yourself too, because I still have some numbers of senior directors that are not there on the list. Please, please, please.
Let's pass the message across. Them we are at liberty to forward whatever we are.
I'm seeing your postings. I want to appreciate you all. It's been an hectic year, especially with challenges on Oracle. We can't post. There is issue with Create Accounting. It's not transparent to GL. I think we want to appreciate you that we have all tried. And I believe we can still do more. The year is coming to an end. If your input is not in Oracle, there is no way we will be able to prepare the financial statements. And like my AGPS has said, we want all bank reconciliations at STO by 15th January. The auditors complained last year that they didn't have enough reconciliation when they came in. Please, by the 15th of January, let's have everything. Where you have challenges, let us know. We'll always be available to assist you. Thank you very much.
Let me appreciate you too. But I have two important information to give you. It's on compliance exercise I would normally do. So number one, the AG has approved that the report from that compliance of exercise should be shared with your accounting officer. Do you like that? Okay. That is number one. Number two is that for any officer found wanting as a result of this compliance exercise, you'll be invited to STO to come and face ethics committee. So I'm just passing this information. So on this note, and thank you very much. Let us prepare for Board of Survey and the stock taking team. Good
evening, dear colleagues. It's been the evening has been fast spent, but I just want to chip in this as a closure. One of the things that I have observed this year that happened last year that did not occur this year, and is a good improvement on our work, is the change of vote of charge. Last year, we have several agencies writing up to say they want to change from this vote to this vote. But this year, I think we experienced more than 90% compliance, and that's very good for us in treasury operations. The other thing I would like to add right now is the issue of including the TIN and payer ID and bank details in vouchers. Going forward till the rest of this year, we will not be able to call officers to provide that information if it's not in the voucher. Automatically, it means that that beneficiary will not get money this year. Maybe it will go to revalidation or it will be deleted from Oracle outrightly. Yes, we've been calling. There are several vouchers in our office now that we wanted to pay for over a month now. Up till now, we can't have the payer ID, we can't have the TIN number. There is nothing we can do. We are not magicians, and we are not going to pay without those information. Lastly, please, I want to implore us to pick up our PIN copies from check room, and also go to voucher room. Let your officers please go to voucher room and check for vouchers that have been queried. Check for your vouchers. We have a carton there full of vouchers. They have called the agencies and they have not complied. Please pick up your vouchers from Monday. Thank Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time with wonderful people like you. I've learned a lot from you. And I want to believe you have learned a lot from us too. Abby, we love you. We are appealing to you to help us do this job well. We want to be seen as the best in the nation. Although we are the best, no doubt about that. We are second to none, but we can be better. There's room for improvement. Let us try and improve our activities. You know that we have told you here that all of us here, we are your colleagues. Our doors are opened. You know, my own door is even opened, more open than all of them. You can see me anytime. If any one of them is not cooperating, meet me. Etigbo, mo sure nko eni o, me buru ka abi mo buru. Feel free to come to me. We can look at things together and we'll resolve it. On that note, can somebody move a motion to adjourn this meeting? Yep.
It's a technical meeting.
Who is seconding? What's the name, ma? Constantine has seconded. Closing prayer. Who is praying for us? Mr. Adewale Ojo. Please pray for us, sir.
Heavenly Father, we thank you this day. We bless your holy name. Thank you for the success of this meeting. We return all glory to you. And thank you for your grace over all of us since the beginning of the year, knowing fully that the great work you have started, even in this profession, you will complete it in Jesus' name. We also use this moment to pray for our captain, the Captain General, that you continue to give him wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, we commit the remaining days in year 2024 unto your holy hand. You will preserve us whole in the mighty name of Jesus. We declare that no evil shall befall anyone in the mighty name of Jesus. As you go right now, let your presence go ahead of us. Thank you, blessed Redeemer. In Jesus' wonderful name, we have prayed. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dear colleagues, please go to State Auditor General's office to pick up your audit report. It's available for you. Pick it up. You know, we are all visiting Lagos Assembly for PAC. Let's try and pick it up. Thank you.